Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to a very exciting webinar that I'm quite excited to have you really introducing our brand new direct integration between TaxCycle and Caseware, but also the integration between Xero and Caseware. We're really excited to bring you through three different brands today as we walk through a seamless data flow right from bank statement all the way through to corporate tax owing. We're going to show you two direct integrations, one between Xero and Caseware, but then also between Caseware and TaxCycle. I'm a massive advocate of data flow, not data export, import, import, export. And so we're really excited here at Xero, TaxCycle, and Caseware to walk you through this brand new linear flow there. Now, before we jump into it, I do want to take our time just to introduce who's going to be speaking to you today. My name is Aaron Doucet. I am a CPA by trade and product manager here at TaxCycle, and I'm joined by two lovely people, Aamar and Sarah. So I'll give you the chance, maybe Aamar, to introduce yourself and then follow up with Sarah.
Awesome. Hey everybody, nice to meet you all. Looking forward to walking you through Xero today. I'm also a CPA. I worked at other firms, so I know a lot of the pain points that you might be going through. So looking forward to showing you how Xero can hopefully make your life a little bit easier. Sarah, I'll pass it over to you.
Sarah, I haven't heard you yet, so what I might do is I might just jump right into things, and you can always do an introduction once we get to your section there. Okay, so a little bit of an agenda so that we can set the scene for today's webinar. We're going to start with a bit of an intro of TaxCycle. I'll then pass it off to Aamar, who will do a Xero demonstration. Who'll then pass it off to Sarah for our Caseware demonstration, and then I'll jump in and show you a little bit about TaxCycle. We're going to follow a typical flow of a year-end compilation, starting from bank statements all the way through to corporate tax. Now, a little bit about TaxCycle. We are a professional tax preparation software for Canadians, accountants, and bookkeepers. We do have full form and filage coverage for all federal and provincial returns, including Quebec. We do have features that help you work faster and better during tax season and support collaboration with real-world accountants to drive innovation and contribute to TaxCycle's evolution. We're really excited about working with Canadian tax preparers across the country, and every year, one of my big roles here as a product manager is listening to feedback of our customers and make sure that we are improving on an annual basis. Now, why do customers love TaxCycle? Overall, it's user experience. I've been told it's one of the slickest on the market and supports really quick and user-friendly tax returns. We are truly committed to innovation, and part of that is exactly why we're here today. We love working with brands like Caseware to drive deeper innovation in the market and making sure that we're staying on top of the Canadian tax space. We do pride ourselves on responsiveness. You can call us, you can email us, and the TaxCycle team will be happy to help. We always have expanded hours during tax season as well. Lastly, our education and support is top-notch. We have webinars on a monthly basis. We have training topics, help topics. Really, we do so much to make sure that you're supported on an annual basis. And we always make sure we bring price and payment flexibility because not all customers are the same. Here's a quick quote from one of our partners. The main reason they chose Xero and TaxCycle is because we're focused on making lives of accounting professionals easier, which allows you all to provide amazing services for your clients. We always love hearing from joint customers of Xero and TaxCycle. Now, why are we excited about the Caseware and TaxCycle integration? Well, no more manual data export and import. Back when I was a tax preparer doing compilations, leveraging Caseware and tax, you were always exporting, importing. So we're really excited about the seamless flow from Caseware to TaxCycle. It's accurate, no discrepancy of data when going from Caseware to TaxCycle, and it really just shows two great brands coming together to solve an existing pain point in the market. We do have a help topic available, so if you're curious how it looks, you can always go to taxcycle.com and search up the Caseware Work Papers Help article, and it'll give you a bunch of insight into how that operates. Some of TaxCycle's key features, we have client manager reports, we have autofill returns, so that's T1, T2, where you can bring data in automatically from your CRA portal of your clients. We have amazing review tools, and I'll walk through some of that later today. We always love to talk about why switching to TaxCycle is easy. You can carry forward prior year files from Profile, CanTax, Tax Prep. Really supports setting up within TaxCycle for the first time. So that's a little bit about us at TaxCycle, who we are, what we pride ourselves on. So at this point, I will flip it over to Aamar, who's going to start the demonstration within Xero. And we're going to show you today a file going all the way from Xero right through into TaxCycle. So I'll jump back in a little while. So I'll stop sharing my screen now so Aamar can take it over.
Amazing. Thank you, Aaron. Well, everybody, right now we're sitting in the Xero dashboard. This is the first thing you'll see when you log into Xero from your client's perspective, or what your client will see if they're using Xero. The dashboard is a high-level overview of what's going on in the business. This is where you get to see your business performance, account watch list, your AR AP module if you have that. But really, you want to focus on the bank. You want to get those bank statement lines into Xero and fly through the file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into the bank and show you how the reconciliation process looks like. Right over here in Xero, you have a variety of ways of getting the bank statement lines into Xero. You have your PDFs, you have your CSV, you have your OFX, your bank feeds. You have all the availability to get the information in as you see fit. And the best part that I like is the actual PDF, because you can import a PDF statement, whether it's scanned or electronic, credit card, bank statement, black or white, colored, doesn't matter. You can import it in, and within seconds, it'll be extracted for you. So over here, you'll see on the left-hand side of the screen that all those bank statement lines have been extracted. The right-hand side of the screen is just Xero working its magic. Now I'm going to walk you through a handful of ways to reconcile on this page, but there's a lot faster way that I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. The first thing I wanted to show you was the match feature. The match feature allows you to use softwares like HubDoc, which is another Xero company, that you can import over your invoices or receipts and have it pushed right over into Xero for you. And then you can automatically agree it with the bank statement line. So once you agree with the bank statement line, it'll turn green. It's saying, hey, Aamar, I have this invoice, same date, same amount, same vendor. Do you think these two match? So with one click, I can reconcile straight to the GL, the payable, and the expense. So that's phenomenal for those full cycle bookkeeping clients that you might have. A lot of receipts, push it in through HubDoc, and then get it into Xero within a couple of seconds. Now, HubDoc's also included for free with some Xero subscriptions. Now, transferring money back and forth from one account to another account, which is very normal in any course of business. You have multiple bank accounts, credit card accounts, and you want to move money back and forth. All you gotta do is select transfer, find the account that it relates to, click OK, and voila, you're able to push that through as well. This Discuss tab is actually one of my favorite features within Xero. This is phenomenal for transactions that you don't really know what's going on. Right? $10,000 cash withdrawal, no idea what it relates to. I'm going to show you a report in a couple of minutes that's going to make your life a lot easier. Meaning you'll be able to get the information back a lot quicker than you were right now. This page right here, again, phenomenal for this full cycle bookkeeping client, those one-off transactions. You come on in here, press OK, press OK, press OK, and fly through the file. But there's also a quicker way of doing your reconciliations, and that's through going cash coding tab. And the cash coding tab is the same information that was on the previous page, but just in Excel format. And I know we love our Excel over here, so this is going to be our happy place for today. And this is supposed to mimic a second-year file. As a second-year file, I already have the majority of the work already done. How? Well, I'm using bank rules. So when something comes in from BDP law, it'll automatically go towards legal account. Something comes in from CIBC and it's under $10, it'll automatically go towards the bank charges and fees account. So all I'm doing now is I'm just scrolling and reviewing the file. So I'm just scrolling on down, reviewing the file. I like what I see. I'll see a couple of empty spots, and that's okay, because those are new transactions throughout the year. So all I'm going to do is scroll down. I like what I see. I'm going to click Save and Reconcile, and you'll see how a second-year file will be done within seconds. And that's really what we're seeing. Actually, our case studies have shown a file outside of Xero that takes about 7.5 hours to do. In the first year of using Xero, you'll save close to 30 to 40%. And that's because you have someone like me, a CPA, a CA, a bookkeeper, who's attached to the file, who will help train you, help answer your questions, because each firm is different, but you have someone specific there attached to your file to be able to guide you through the process. So you're not Googling or YouTubing things. You just give us a shout, and we'll be there to be able to help you out throughout the process. But that same file that took 7.5 hours, in the second year of using Xero, you know how long it takes? 27 minutes on average. That's a full day's worth of bookkeeping that you can save, right? So it's a lot of time back in your day to be able to help scale your business or just take some afternoon naps if you need to. Now, from here, I was able to reconcile 143 transactions very quickly. Now I have a handful of bank rules that are more generic. So over here, I have a couple of meals and entertainment transactions that I can just click, find apply rule, and select my meals entertainment rule, click save and reconcile, and with a few clicks, I can actually apply that rule. And this is really good for meals entertainment, but also rules for maybe fuel. Maybe you have a trunking business that you're dealing with and they go to multiple gas stations. So you can apply that rule there as well. Now, one feature that a lot of our partners love is the cache coding feature or the bulk coding feature. Because over here, what you can do is you can select all the transactions that you know exactly where they go and just start putting in a couple of keystrokes. I know exactly where this goes. There's a few keystrokes there, and boom, 5 more transactions done. So another tool in your toolbox, meaning cache coding is king. It's phenomenal. Why? Well, if you have a lot of transactions, say for a catch-up file, maybe someone comes to you for 3-4 years worth of work and they're like, hey, I need to get my stuff done. Please help me. Use cache coding. Fly through the file. Get it all done very, very quickly. But if you have a client that's with you for a long time and you know they're coming back year in and year out, well then use bank rules. Set it and forget it, and the file is done before you even jump in. And you have apply rule there to be able to be the best of both. You can click as you see fit. So a couple of tools in your tool belt to make sure that you are as efficient as possible within Xero. And just like that, the vast majority of the transactions are done, literally within minutes in front of you. And that's what we're seeing. Now, $10,000 cash withdrawal, what does that relate to? What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this awesome report called the Unquoted Statement Lines Report. And this report is one of my favorite features for a couple of reasons. One, it's a couple of clicks away, you see exactly what hasn't been reconciled for all of your banks. I only have one transaction here. This wasn't the case when I was in public practice. I had more than one transaction here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select export into a PDF, and you'll see that now I have a PDF that's an elegant PDF that's also editable, meaning the client can't actually change anything if you send it to them. I know when I was in public practice, I was sending over, going from Excel to Word to Outlook and back and forth, and it just took a lot of time. And at the time, I was thinking, hey, it's only taken 3, 4, 5 minutes per client, but you extrapolate that per month, per quarter, per all the clients that you have, that starts eating into a lot of time. Now, with this feature, you have the ability to get this in a couple of clicks. And the best part here is that it's editable, meaning the client can type right back exactly what it is. Now, because it's editable, it's easier to cut back to you, meaning I know I never open up Excel sheets or Word documents or graphs on my phone, but I always open up a PDF. And what we've seen is that firms are sending this over and clients are seeing that it's a PDF. They open it up and they respond back right away as well. So we've seen firms not having to wait that 1 week or 2 weeks and the back and forth. It's a lot more streamlined and getting the work back quicker so you can wrap up the file and move on to the next file. So phenomenal, phenomenal tool here. I love I love this feature right here. Unquoted Statement Lines just makes life so much easier. Now that I know exactly where the information goes, I'm going to go back to my bank and I'm going to do the one more reconciliation. Right over here, I'm just going to type in here exactly where it goes. But one thing I want to let you know is that the simplicity of the language within Xero. It's who, what, why. Money spent, money received. I still get confused from debits and credits myself. And so it's very simple language for maybe those clients that want to be a part of the software but don't have that accounting or bookkeeping background. They can still use the software very, very easily. And just like that, you were able to reconcile a second-year file quite literally within minutes in front of you. And that's what we're seeing. So phenomenal way to fly through a file and get it done as fast as possible using the power of Xero. Now, you may be thinking, well, what if I have to change something? Well, I accidentally capitalized everything going in to Staples, which was incorrect. And I have to put some of the information back into office supplies. So everything under $500, I want to put back over to office supplies. In Xero, you have a very quick way of doing that. And that's going to the find and recode feature. And all this is like additional filters to find those transactions. Just like this, I want to add a condition and I want to put in entered by. So I'll put in my name in there. And this is phenomenal to be able to, let's say, review someone's work. So if you're reviewing your own work or reviewing your staff's work, very easy to do this, and you can review all their work. But I'm going to drill down a little bit more. I'm going to know the contact is Staples, so let's type in SDA. There we go, Staples Canada. And I just want to look at transactions that are less than $500. Just like that, yep, there's 10 transactions that are under $500 that went to the equipment account, which is capitalized, which is incorrect. So what I'm going to do is going to select all, click recode, and just start typing in OF, office supplies, AB, boom, tax rate there, click review, click confirm, and voila. Within seconds, I have re-reconciled these transactions if they were correctly done in the first place. Very, very quickly. And the best part here is if you make a lot of mistakes in your transactions, maybe you made a wrong bank rule and you have to change everything, or new information comes back to you, you have to change some information. Well, you can do upwards of 2,500 transactions at a time like this. So using find and recode, it doesn't matter. As long as you have the information with you, you can easily change anything that you need to, just like that, whether it's a tax rate, whether it's the account code, or the contact. Now, from here, you would now have everything done exactly how you want it to be done, and you can now push this over to Caseware. And that's what the majority of the firms using Xero are doing. They're using Xero to bring down that time in reconciliation, and then pushing it over to Caseware to be able to use Caseware and continue on from there. So from here, I'll pass it over to Sarah from Caseware.
Thanks, Aamar. And sorry my mic wasn't working previously. So let me just share my screen here. Adjust my windows. But for those who haven't met me before, I'm Sarah Coulson, and like the other two, I am a recovering accountant, as I like to describe it. I'm a CPA, and I spent several years in practice before having the opportunity to join Caseware, where I work with their developers and designer and solve the sort of pain points that I had in practice and that you face on a daily basis. So I'm really excited about this integration that we've done. So I'm going to share screen here. Okay. So I've got a working papers file. This is just your basic working papers file available from Caseware. We also have templates available for compilations, reviews, and audits as well. But this is just the working papers file directly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the engagement here. So I'm going to go accounting software. I'm going to go Xero, and I'm going to do online direct. And it was the 2022 year end that Aamar was working on. So I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to click OK. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in directly to the file because my client has given me access. So I can log in. Okay. And because I've already connected before to Dr. Tax, it is one of the accounts that I have listed here. Oh, hang on there. Select Dr. Tax. Okay. So what it's doing is there's no reason, when I started, it was keying it in. There's no reason to export from Xero and then import into Caseware working papers. You can just do it directly. And so if we go over to the working trial balance, you can see the numbers have come in directly. And so I'm going to take a look. And when I look at the trial balance, one of the things that I noticed, Aamar showed that he was changing things from property, plant, and equipment. And as a result, I'm going to set up some amortization here. I do an amortization entry. Okay, and so let's look. So let's count. 58. $2,000 of expense, and it's going to be split between the two capital accounts. There we go. So I booked an entry. I can go back to my trial balance and I can see the entries now recorded there. And so now that the numbers are in good shape, I've taken a look at them. It's time to prepare the corporate tax return. So I'm going to go to my export. I'm going to go to my Giphy. I'm going to directly export to TaxCycle's T2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, right here, it's already been saved, but I browse and I find the TaxCycle file. So I've already set up an engagement in TaxCycle, and I've got a file saved there. So I've rolled forward from last year. I've done this before. And I'm going to do the balances and export it in. So I'm going to click OK. And so what happens is that TaxCycle will open. And so you'll see that it opens up the TaxCycle file. And you can see from, if I go to my Giphy balances, that the balances have been imported in. So not very long, no typing, no manual. It's connection to connection in order to get the numbers across. So with that, I will pass it over to Aaron.
So you're kind of seeing a really cool data flow. We're used to working in interconnected systems, and so it's really exciting for Canadian practitioners that are on Caseware, that are on Xero, or that are on TaxCycle, that you can now leverage this. You can leverage that data flow from bank statement right through to corporate tax. And if you're not on all of the above, maybe it's a great opportunity to take a peek at some of these other softwares to see how you can upskill your app stack on how you're leveraging the data there to work with your clients or for your clients. So we have that tax return started from Sarah. So what I'll do now is I'll share my screen and go back into TaxCycle now. And I'll show you just a few key features there as well. So we are working within the T2 module of TaxCycle. And so I need to finish off this T2 corporate tax return. And so right away, we're seeing that income statement. So we see that this data was imported from Sarah, directly leveraging that integration. So we can already start to see our income statement amounts. We see, since everything was coded to a Giphy code in that Caseware file, it's connected the lead sheets to the Giphies there. And that comes right from Xero as well. So we have that seamless flow of Giphy map data from Xero into Caseware, now into TaxCycle. So we see our income, our expenses. We could see our balance sheet as well. So we can see our assets, our liabilities, and shareholder equity. And really, by having these two interconnected systems, you're not necessarily worried about that data transposition. I know back when I was a compilation tax accountant, as Sarah said, an escaped accountant. I'm the same thing. I'd be constantly updating my Caseware file, jumping back into tax, updating my Xero file, updating my Caseware file. And you're really working in multiple systems almost at once as you're going through that year-end engagement. So by leveraging this direct integration between Caseware and TaxCycle, hopefully we can remove that friction. We're always here trying to make sure that there's as least amount of friction as possible when working through that workflow. So that's what we're really hoping that this integration does solve. It lowers the potential risk of mistake. I know when I've back in my day, we made all the silly mistakes like importing the wrong Giphy file into a tax return, and then you do a bit of work and you realize all of a sudden you're using the wrong client's data before having to restart it. So by leveraging this integration, you can make sure that you're always using the right amount of data. So I want to show you around TaxCycle a little bit. And so if you haven't used TaxCycle before, there's a couple really key features that we at TaxCycle always love. So we've already imported the Giphy, so I don't have to worry about that. But you can always do your T2 autofill my return for corporations as well. And so that's always available in the top left-hand side here, doing that T2 AFR. The same thing goes for T1 AFR as well. We do have a fun new product that we actually launched the other year called data mining, and that actually allows you to mass query your TaxCycle ecosystem. So if you think about what happened last year with the taxable capital gains potential changes, clients were always asking us, like, how can they query their tax database and find potential clients that have a specific situation? So you can leverage the data mining tool to really look across your clients and say, pull all of your clients with capital gains in excess of this, or pull clients that have a, say on the personal tax side, a T2 125 with revenue of over $0. So some really exciting options there. Right away, you'll notice in the bottom hand of my screen, I already have my taxes owing calculating for us. So that's just right out of the box. TaxCycle is updating its taxes owing for us, and which you can always go in and change and optimize as you work within this T2 file. We do have our quick review. So one of the things that people always say they love about TaxCycle is actually our review engine on the side here. We all have done those personal tax returns where you have to say yes or no to the standard questions. It's the same thing in the corporation side as well. So what this allows you to do is quickly go through and see exactly what you need to review prior to submitting. So I have 21 items here that require my attention. So here as an example, you can do it two different ways. So I double clicked here. So I have this installments and this review mark that's asking me. But what I could also do is I can just clear it from there as well, or just say yes from here. So you can do your quick review if you know the answer there. So this is just a great way for you to work through all of those review items coming in here. Yes, today's date as an example is A-OK. It's throwing that up just because this file is a few years old. So it just wants to double check that the signing date is correct there. Please review. But for these, you can just clear them as well. So this is an element of TaxCycle that people love, both on the corporate side, but also on the personal side. It allows you to clear those review marks because you won't be able to e-file this or transmit this until all of those review marks are cleared prior to going and submitting that to the CRA. So your quick review and require attention is a fantastic way for you to work through the system. Another is our fast find. You can think of it as like Control F when you're working within a document here. I can come in here and just look for, say, my income statement. So this allows you to just do a fast find. It allows you to search for either a line item of a form or the form itself. And allows me to quickly jump to my income statement that we were already on this, but it just allows you to show you that nice circular flow there. So you always have your fast find or your find on a current form. These are just great tools for you to look for, say, on a personal tax return, that line 23600, you're looking for your net income on a specific form, or looking for something in the corporate tax return as well. We always ask people what their favorite part of TaxCycle is actually, like, functionally within the product. We hear quick reviews, we hear fast finds quite often. They just allow you to really navigate through the system rather efficiently as well. And so we've done a little bit so far on this TaxCycle demo. Sarah, of course, sent that data in. TaxCycle already is calculating that balance owing, so our actual corporate tax amount owing here, if I scroll through that form there, and that's actually calculating the net corporate tax amount. We've done a little bit on the quick review. We've shown you how you can quickly find. We show you how you can do that AFR brought in. We show you how you can do a quick data mining. There's also different ways like going into tax folder. Tax folder is another product of TaxCycle that allows you to get signatures. So whether you're getting permission to file that tax return and so on, you can leverage tax folder. Fantastic for T1s and T2s where you're getting effectively the authorization to go through and actually submit that tax return. You can always take snapshots as well. Snapshots is great if you want to do some simulation planning. You can, of course, always print everything as well. So once you do go through all of those reviews, you finished your corporate tax return amount, you might want to then potentially submit the tax return. But of course, you might be leveraging Caseware as well to issue those kind of final formal accounting statements to your client as well. So we're going to do a quick pause in the demonstration here because I'm going to pass it back to Sarah because I've come up with my amount owing. So we have a balance owing of $13,819. So that's that corporate tax expense amount. So I'm going to pass it now back to Sarah, who's going to continue this functional demonstration and show you posting that and sending that data in to where it needs to go. Because of course we want to make sure that that amount shows up on our financial statements, maybe for client signature prior to actually submitting that tax return. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. And Sarah, you can take it over.
Great. Thank you, Aaron. Okay. So now we've got to post the entry. So we're going to do our current. We take a look at, is there a balance right now in our trial balance for our corporate tax? And I look down and there is a balance. Okay. So that is not the balance that is owing this year. So let's take a look and adjust that. So I'm going to do my second entry. I'm going to do corporate taxes payable. And now I'm just going to grab the account. So my corporate tax return. Let's see. Scroll through my accounts. So corporate taxes payable. So I need to adjust it. 108, 301. And then I'm going to do my tax expense here. Okay, so we're adjusting that back. And that entry is now posted. Okay, so I can see that it's been posted. So now my corporate taxes payable is the 13,819. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export that. I'm going to export the adjustments. So I'm going to do the file format is Xero online. I'm going to save it into a CSV format. I'm going to click OK. I'm just going to name it with taxes. There we go. Click OK. And so I've saved that. And now that that's done, if I've got access in order to upload to the Xero account, I can import that data file directly. Or in this case, Aamar is doing the bookkeeping for Dr. Tax, so I'm going to send that back to Aamar. And so these are just some of the things to make it easier. So with being able to export it directly into the Caseware format, the Xero format, it saves your bookkeeper, your accountant, from posting the entries. The number of times that I've seen entries posted to either incorrect accounts or sometimes debits and credits are mixed up is the numerous. So any point where we can improve the data migration or the data ingestion from one system to another seamlessly is a benefit here. So Aamar, just to get you ready, I'm going to have you open up your email for the adjustments. And with the beauty of technology here, attach a file.
Yeah, so those adjustments, Aamar, should be sitting in your email so that you can go and upload that manual journal entry into Xero, and we can wrap this all up with a nice bow.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Really quite excited about this. I think it's really exciting to see this like continual story just improve in the Canadian market. I know back when I used to be doing NTRs, they were always so disconnected that you're going from one system to the next. So it's really exciting to see this improvement for the market.
Yes, I've been very excited doing the collaboration with both Xero and TaxCycle in order to make this seamless data flow. I sort of remember like when I first started in my first accounting job, we were using Caseware working papers, but there was no import feature and I would have to manually type in all the numbers to the trial balance. I think in my first 5 years, there was only 5 times that I balanced the trial balance on the first manual data input. And that was exciting. And so that definitely was a happy dance around the office, a little cheer that it got done. But learned some sort of tricks with numbers and stuff to try to find, where did that account number go? What number was missed? But the fact that we can import directly and not have to do any manual intervention with this data has been fantastic. Okay, Aamar, have you received my email?
I have received it.
With the import. Fantastic.
Awesome. So let's go right over here. All I did was go into accounting and manual journals, and I can just import over those statements just from here, just by clicking browse and finding that information. And then voila, when it's in there, it's all good to go.
It's a nice like circular flow. We started in Xero, we went to Caseware, we did the tax, back to Caseware, back to Xero, and really just 3 connected systems. Now, Aamar, I want to ask you a question. If someone on the line today wants to learn more about Xero, what should they do?
They should get a free trial, but they can also email us and we can set up a demo with them and just show them what Xero can do in their particular workflow, because every firm is a little different, and we can really customize our demos to make sure that you're getting the best out of it.
And Sarah, I'll pose the same question to you. Maybe someone online is doing their year ends in a different system and they want to try out Caseware. What should they do?
Yes, definitely contact us. You can contact sales@caseware.com. You can take a look at our website as well. That shows a bunch of the other products that we have.
And from a TaxCycle perspective, we really do pride ourselves on that training and support. So you can always go to taxcycle.com/resources and find what you're looking for, whether you want to learn more about Xero as integration with TaxCycle or Caseware integration with TaxCycle. You can always find what you're looking for there. We always recommend, if you want to get going, download the free trial. You can do that today. You can go to taxcycle.com/try now. Download TaxCycle and see for yourself just how easy it is, especially if you've used one of the softwares that you can carry forward. And then you can always, in that form, book a personalized software demo as well, where our sales team will reach out and schedule that demo for you. And lastly, you can always go to taxcycle.com/pricing and look at what license or suite best fits your needs. Now, I do want to say also on behalf of the TaxCycle team, thank you so much to the Caseware and the Xero team for really coming together to make this webinar happen, both on the functional presentation side, but all of the product work that's really gone on in the background over the last couple of years to make these integrations possible. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aamar. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining the TaxCycle team here today. And thank you so much for all of the attendees for logging on and watching this integration and watching this webinar. We hope you've learned something today. We've hoped we have maybe even piqued your interest to try something new. And if you're already using all 3 softwares, hey, kudos to you. And we look forward to hearing what you think of these integrations. And now, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this went out in July.
Yeah, so this all these functionalities that we've shown is available in your Caseware Working Papers 2025 release. And so that was disseminated by the end of July. So if you go to mycaseware.com, your mycaseware account, you should be able to download the latest version of Working Papers, and that'll be Working Papers 2025.
Well, thank you so much on behalf of the TaxCycle team. Thank you for joining today. We wish you a fantastic rest of your week. We look forward to working with you through this tax season. Thanks all, and hope you have a great rest of your day.